that he's natural. Is it possible? Anything's possible. It's even slightly possible, maybe 1 in a billion chance, that even Michael Hearn is natural. 16 años. Look at this guy. 16. And so as we zoom on his photo when he was 16 years of age, we can in fact see a lot of acne. Now remember, when you're using performance-enhancing drugs, this can increase the likelihood of having acne on your face, back, chest, and so on. And so at 16, he could easily be explained as having this acne from going through puberty. It's not as if he was older. If we saw him with no acne for a period of time, and then suddenly he got a lot of acne, especially while adding 10, 15 pounds of muscle at the same time, that would make it obvious, but we just don't know. That's the first photo he's posted on Instagram. 17, and look at this guy. He's already getting more jacked. He's getting more shredded. So he's been dieting. He's trying to get more condition, and he's getting ready for future bodybuilding competitions. And so how often is it that we see young people, teenagers, you being pressured to use performance-enhancing drugs to compete and get famous on social media? Just look at his physique. He's flexing. He's got shreds. The guy looks incredible. He's only 17. And so if you're a betting man, if you're wanting to bet, most likely you're going to bet the guy's not natural. How often do we see a guy with this kind of development at that age while being 100% natural? Think of it like this. If he looks like that at 17 while being natural, how would he look if he had been using performance-enhancing drugs? And so is it in fact possible? Could he be that massive, that shredded at that age by being natural? And if he wasn't natural, what would he then look like? You may have heard in the past, bigger isn't always better. I don't believe that you guys need to try to get as big as this. You're thinking, this is my hero. He has over 2 million followers. He has over Joe's Majonis followers. And so you're thinking, that is the look I need to be famous, to be desired by the opposite sex. I'm going to argue he had a better physique at 18. How many of you, raise your hand, would want to look like this? He's 18. He's significantly smaller. Looks way smaller, but is he perhaps looking better? Why is it that we're always after more size, just for the sake of size? Bigger doesn't always mean better. There is such a thing as too much of a good thing. In comparison, my favorite photo of Chris Bumstead, that's right, I have a favorite photo of Chris. Look at how he looks at 22 at his first Olympia. I think he looks far better than he does right now. Yeah, he's smaller, and no, his physique wouldn't beat his current physique. Yeah, he might be 20 plus pounds of muscle less at that point. But to me, it looked better. It was more aesthetic. That, to me, is more people's dream physique. And so just because you're bigger doesn't mean you're better. And so remember, you don't need to abuse performance-enhancing drugs. For the most part, if you get very big, you're going to impress more men, but you're not going to impress the ladies. They don't want a man that big. They don't need it. You think I would be more attractive if I got more muscle? Remember, I have 20, 25 pounds less of muscle than I used to. Personally, I think I look better. I could argue that I look better. I was a better athlete on a bodybuilding stage, but for most people, do I need to be that jacked? Does it make me look better? I don't think so. And let me take you back to this original comment. It was this female when she met this Andoni Fitness in person. He looked fat and unattractive, in my opinion. And so the first thing I noticed is he didn't remember to shave his legs. I see an amazing physique, but I get distracted by the hair on his quadriceps. Why didn't you shave? What is wrong with you? Remember, if you watch Grooming with Greg, Grooming 101, you would clearly know, shave everything. Get rid of it all. And so the guy got up to as much as 107 kilograms, about 235 pounds. Remember, he's about 18, 235, shredded. Like, does that not sound a little bit unrealistic? And remember, he's not claiming to be natural, and most guys who are natural would point that out. Hey, I'd like to remind you, I'm natural. And when they say this, they're usually not 107 kilograms. And so he gets on the stage, he competes, gets second and fifth place. Remember, he's only 18 competing against adults, guys 10 years older than him.